news release?
Oh, yes, we're all ready.
Okay, thanks. I'm gonna try to do that.
Yeah, we're like
that
10
from now on.
Yes,
Things
Well,
like
like I
that.
was telling her, it saved me about 2 hours,
we're a long ways away from each other.
Awesome.
because now I don't have to go back and redo everything.
Cut and paste. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I have
Gotcha,
to
gotcha.
do all, everything.
Ask
has to
for
Okay.
be loose.
addition to the agenda.
All right, good.
So we're good.
Well, we're gonna work on that.
Yeah. I think I surely couldn't read your lips.
Welcome to the Abilene City Commission regular meeting for August 24th, 2020. Due to COVID-19 and social distancing, we are encouraging viewing all meetings virtually on the live-streamed City of Abilene's YouTube page. Roll call. Here?
Here.
Here.
Here. Here.
We will do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Consent agenda. Madam Mayor, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Madam Mayor, Commissioner Schaefer, I second.
It's been moved and second to approve the consent agenda. Roll call vote.
Mayor Esterman,
Yes.
before we vote on that, I apologize, I didn't pick up on it, but we have a proposed executive session motion to add to the agenda.
We were going to do that after the consent, but should we do that prior?
Yes,
Okay.
by virtue of approving the consent, we're approving today's agenda. So I think it's a matter of simply approving the consent agenda with the addition of an executive session for attorney-client privilege as item number
10A.
10A. Yes.
So, Aaron, do I need to make a motion to add 10A
Uh,
or just have a separate
It-
motion for the consent agenda, including 10A?
The latter would be appropriate.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Madam Mayor, I move we approve the consent agenda with the addition of item 10A.
We have to stop.
Correct.
Yes, I think we have a motion and a second on the table.
I just need to amend mine correctly.
So maybe the thing to do would be to just clear that off and vote against that motion, and then Commissioner Ryan can
Make a new motion.
restate his motion again, please.
Okay. So we'll clear the previous two motions, and we'll go back to Brandon.
I think we need to vote it down.
Vote it down?
Correct, yes,
Okay,
if you would,
all right.
please.
So we will vote. We will have a roll call vote on the consent agenda. Commissioner Ryan,
No?
Commissioner Marshall. No. Commissioner Schaefer,
No.
Commissioner Witt,
No.
Mayor Osterman, no. It has not passed.
Madam Mayor, I move we approve the consent agenda with the addition of 10A, a legal executive session.
I will second his motion. Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. I am dimming the 10A for our legal executive session. We will go to roll call vote. Commissioner Marshall. Yes. Commissioner Schaefer.
Yes.
Commissioner Witt.
Yes.
Mayor Osterman. Yes. Commissioner Ryan.
Yes.
Okay. So approved. Next item, public comments and communications. Persons who wish to address the city commission may do so when called upon the mayor. Do we have anyone in the audience that would like to make a public comment? Okay. We have no one at this time. Next is old and new business. Next item is well number 23, master agreement and work order.
We'll let Lon come up.
Yes.
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, as you can see, we have no microphone here.
Oh, whoops.
I can talk loud. I have to.
He's going to get a microphone so everybody can hear.
I couldn't figure out a subtle way to get everybody's attention. I can talk loud, Margaret.
Unfortunately, I don't think YouTube.
YouTube, I would have sat back down. Okay. Touching on some of those things that, in your agenda form, the little overview that I presented to you guys a couple of weeks ago.
Excuse me 1 minute, Lon, I don't think you're coming through the microphone.
Take
What's
your
that?
mask off, Lon, for this.
Yeah, you're 6 feet.
There you go.
In this agenda form, there is kind of a brief overview of something that, basically, it's a project that's been going on for at least 3 years. Truth be told, it's a lot longer than that. There's maps that we have in our possession that show test holes that have been drilled all over the place. But back in 2017, as it says in this agenda form, we looked at the potential. We were riding 40% of our water supply in our blend comes from that river alluvium field. We don't have room for too much error, you might say, in that side of the water supply. So we definitely recognize the fact that we need to be looking for other sources. So we have been for some time. Back in 2017, 18, we asked Olson's and their staff to help us. And there's one sentence in that overview that basically says that they helped us pick the site to drill for water. And that one sentence encompasses a lot more than that. Olson's, Dr. Jim Schneider from Olson's staff is a geologist and kind of I guess you might say, an expert in that field. And he and other members of their staff, as well as Mark, provided us with several years ago, started on this hydrogeological evaluation. And what that is basically a way of mating and matching where there are available water rights and where the geological makeup of the land and ground, you might say, intersect, and that's where we're looking for water. Those sites have been identified over the last couple of years, test drilled, lots of things have happened. But here in front of you today now is the next step, which is to ask for approval to move forward, to have Olson's in front of you. You have, or attached with that, you have their master agreement. And that is for the actual design implementation of the well. We have, the city of Abilene we have water rights for this site out there. We have a site picked out. We will be working over the next several months on that acquisition of that land. But this step needs to be taking place now, and we need to move forward with that. Mark is here behind me as well. If you would like to ask him or myself any questions about that, feel free to do so. Otherwise, I think, again, it kind of highlights the 5 phases of this as you read through there. And I think Mark's going to talk a little bit about the water modeling after I get done here. And in task 302, I believe it is, we will actually use some of that information from that water model that they're doing right now to develop the size of the line that is needed, not only now for in the future to get the water from this new well site into our infrastructure. So this again is the approval to move forward with the paying for the first 3 phases this year, with the last 2 phases of that master service order in 2021. So with that, I'll stop. Anybody have any questions?
If we find any surprises along the way?
No, I don't believe so. Nothing that probably wasn't too much anticipated.
Okay. I guess one other question. You mentioned land acquisition.
Well, acquisition being the term we're using now is, there will be, I don't know how to put that really. We've got some,
We really don't want to discuss that piece of it
yeah.
moving forward. We have things in place and know where the site is, but we cannot divulge that at this time.
Okay.
That will be something we'll talk about in a later date here, but we need to get this, the well design underway, and that is critical right now, so.
Is there anyone else have any questions to ask Lon at this time?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, this is Commissioner Witt. I move that we approve the well number 23 master agreement and work order.
Madam Mayor, I'll second the motion.
Okay. It's been moved and second to approve the well number 23 master agreement and work order. We'll go to any more further questions? Go to roll call vote. Commissioner Marshall,
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Osterman, yes. Commissioner Ryan,
Yes.
it's been so approved. Next item, water model update, and I think that's Mark. Is that correct, Basham?
Good afternoon. Well, it's going to be kind of nice being able to use this model to be able to size the water line and stuff that we need for the well. But just give you a little bit of background about the development of that water model. Of course, you had Midland GIS over the last year create the GIS lines of all of your water system around town. So we took that, and then we were able to incorporate fire flows that Lon had taken, and also elevations of the towers at certain times, and put that into a water model. And then one of the things that when I used to do those things several years ago, that's all we ever used was fire hydrants and tower elevations, and we'd kind of correlate and create a model. And this kind of really taxed your city staff, because our staff asked for all the household usage. And so all the household usage was also entered into the model, to where if you had a high user, that was also depicted in the model in the usage, so the pipe sizes could be modeled correctly. We really didn't, 20-some years ago, we didn't really have that sophistication and be able to create that in a model. But that's how much that you've got. I think it was 2 weeks ago, they were in town again and did a check on the model to do a final calibration, and was able to pop a fire hydrant, call the water plant, and what elevation was the water in the towers, and essentially calibrated and did the final calibration on that, I think a week or two ago, I think they were up. So it's modeled. Kind of the work in progress now is to get the final calibration going. The work remaining is to add once you have all the base model established, now they're adding all the future flows. So they're looking at your city boundaries and where can things develop, and then we're adding as that being developed, so we can actually determine pipe sizes based on future flows and future development. So that's what they're going to do with that, and then from that, they're going to be able to determine where's your deficiencies. And they're going to say that, that if this line from X to Y is a existing 6-inch line, and that line needs to be a 12 in order to meet fire requirements and so forth. There's regulations that require really how much fire flow you need to have out of fire hydrants and so forth around town. And also pressure at the residents and also in your commercial areas as you want your pressures up around 50 to above, even up to 70 PSI for when you're looking at sprinkler systems and stuff like that for commercial buildings. So that's one thing that they're gonna look at. You should be getting, a draft report coming in November, and then we'll be presenting that to you in November with the draft report about all the deficiencies in your system and then costs broken down so you can create and put that in your CIP. And so, any questions on that?
Mark, do you foresee any surprises or
Well, no.
no?
I think Lon may, well, I wasn't going to, but if you want me to, I can. Okay. Well, for example, 24/7, when they went to put in their facility, they used pressure toilets. And there wasn't enough pressure to flush the toilets when they went put in operation because I think your water pressure there is in the 30s, and which is not good. So the issue that I'm going to see, and I'm going to look for, is what size of main needs to be upsized to get the water pressure to that upper reach, and what areas around it that need to be upgraded in order to get the water pressure there, get the volume and the pressure up. So you have a line deficiency in size, usually, if you've got low pressure, and then depending on what your volume. So you're looking at that area, and I think you probably have other areas in town that you're going to find those situations. So
Does anyone else have any questions? Thank you, Mark.
I might just give you an update on the southeast storm sewer assessment that I was here before, and you had asked us to do a 25-year and a 50-year assessment. That's been done, and so I will be forwarding. Now, what we did is instead of writing a memo to include into the report, we redid the whole report to include that. What you find is 10 years from now, that little memo or something that was added is going to get lost. So what we did is we updated the report to the 25-year and the 50-year. So you can have that for your future recommendations as to how you want to divide it out. So
Thank you.
And when will we get that?
I have it. I just got an email of it today.
Okay.
And so I'm going to review it this week, and then you'll have it first of the week next
Thank
week.
you, Mark.
Okay. Next item is accept a resignation from the Sister City Board from Norman Anderson.
Madam Mayor, I move we accept the resignation of Sister City Board Member Norman Anderson because of health reasons.
This is Commissioner Witt. I second the motion.
It's been moved and second to accept the resignation for the Sister City Board from Norman Anderson. Roll call vote.
Discussion
Yes, go ahead.
do I know this Norman by Scott?
You do,
Okay.
yes. That's his
Sorry.
legal name.
That's what?
That's his legal name.
Scott Anderson is.
Yes, Scott
legal-
Anderson,
is
otherwise known as Norman
yeah.
Anderson.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
All right. It's been moved and second to accept the resignation for the Sister City Board from Norman/Scott Anderson. Roll call vote. Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Osterman, yes. Commissioner Rhine,
Yes.
Commissioner Marshall.
Yes.
It has been so accepted. Next item, accept a resignation for the Sister City Board from Claire Anderson.
Madam Mayor, I move we accept a resignation from the Sister City Board from Claire Anderson.
I will second his motion.
Okay, it's been moved and second to accept the resignation for the Sister City Board from Claire Anderson. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Commissioner Witt?
Yes.
Mayor Osterman, yes. Commissioner Ryan?
Yes.
Commissioner Marshall?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
It has been so approved. Next item is regards to the legal executive session. Do I have a motion?
Madam Mayor, I move the city commission recess into executive session for, do we know how long?
10 minutes would be appropriate.
Okay. For 10 minutes to discuss with legal counsel a charge of employment discrimination against the city of Abilene that has been filed with the Kansas Human Rights Commission based upon the need for consultation with an attorney for the public body which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship pursuant to KSA 75-4319B2. The open meeting will resume in this room at 4:30 p.m.
I will second his motion.
It's been moved and second to go into legal executive session for 10 minutes, returning at 4:20. Roll call vote.
4:30 minutes.
I'm sorry, I need to correct that to 4:30, thank you. Mayor Osterman, yes. Commissioner Ryan?
Yes.
Commissioner Marshall?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Witt?
Yes.
So adjourned. returning from the executive session with no action taken. And then next item is city manager reports. Jane.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me get my... So we're pleased to announce the hiring of Anna Hatter as the City of Abilene's next police chief. After a nationwide search of 82 applications from 30 states, Anna quickly rose to the top of our list. After her interview, we knew she was the right person for the job. Hatter is a 26-year veteran of the Wichita Police Department. She quickly rose through the ranks before being appointed to deputy chief in May of 2019. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in organizational management and leadership from Friends University and a mini MPA in executive development from Wichita State University. Hatter did her homework with trips to Abilene to visit with residents and businesses about the community and police department prior to being interviewed. Anna wants to be in Abilene. She understands our community and will benefit from her years of experience. And we will benefit from her years of experience. Hatter and her husband, Chris, have a total of 3 children and 7 grandchildren. They will be relocating to Abilene, and she will begin her duties on October 1. With 2 resignations on the Sister City Board, we are now accepting applications. On other city boards, we also have an opening on the Airport Advisory Board and one on the Planning Commission. You can find the applications on our city website under Boards and Commissions. You should see movement at the 8th Street project this week as the curb and gutter begin to be placed and the new concrete street will follow. The latest Census 2020 numbers for the state of Kansas are 68% complete, with Dickinson County right at 68% and the city of Abilene at 71% complete. Thank you to all citizens who have completed the census. As you know, this is an indicator going forward for future projects and possible funding. If a census worker comes to your home, please take a few minutes to complete the questions. Thank you again for your participation in this necessary survey. 413 Northwest 3rd, John's upholstery work is nearly complete, as many of you have driven by and looked over that building. We've got a few things on the interior that need yet to be completed, but we believe they're going to meet their deadline, and so Travis is following up on that. There will be no study session on August 31st, as this is the 5th Monday of the month. We have no study session planned for Labor Day, September the 7th, and no city commission meeting planned for the 14th, so you've got a break. The city's next scheduled study session will be September 21, and we'll continue to look at projects going forward, such as the street maintenance plan. Lon's on a deadline, so he'll have that ready to go. And our next area of focus is going to be on our CIP. We've got the water model coming in November. We've got the street assessment. We've got the drainage study that's going forward. So we're trying to put all those together so that we can look at 3 to 5 to 10 years. So staff has been working very hard, and I appreciate all the support, and keep up the good work. That's all I have, Mayor.
Why all the cancellations of the meetings?
We have nothing on our agenda,
Okay. Well, that's a good.
so we don't need to meet to meet.
That's a good place to be.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Commissioner Witt. Quick question on 413 Northwest 3rd.
Mhm.
When we, I think
We had a
scheduled that-
14th, yes, we had that for the 14th, and that's why we're doing the follow-up.
Right. And so
They've
that'd
made
be-
substantial
Right.
completion, so we will not have to go forward with that demolition or of that structure.
Have they completed, have they repaired the windows? I haven't been down.
Yeah,
there.
yeah, they covered them. And now they're, yes, the interior is all that's left. They have some trim work on the front door, and then on the interior, they had some insulation that needed to be covered yet, and they are going to get that work done. So we won't have to go forward. They've made substantial progress, and I don't think we want to demo the building now that they've
As I
done the work.
remember, he was gonna come back at
He's working on the roof as well. Yeah, he's got 10 ordered. We actually talked to him on Friday, and there is 10 ordered. And he's got it about, I would say, a little over a third completed. If you drive by, you'll notice it if you come in from the east, or from the west going east.
Go down, take a look.
I have a question. It was brought to my attention, the Planning Commission on July 14th had 2 items that were supposed to go to us in August. One was the ordinance for the electronic message center signs, and the second one was the approval, the designation and regulation of critical drainage area in
Correct.
the city of Abilene, and we have not seen that.
You are not going to see that till October,
And the reason-
because the Planning Commission voted on that and did not have a quorum. And so that will not be scheduled until,
They had a quorum.
they
in-
did not have a quorum present.
No, I meant in August, when they met in August.
They did not have a quorum,
In August.
correct,
Well, I was, the Planning Commission?
correct.
Amazing.
And so we've moved that to October. It is on the schedule for, I think, the second meeting in October. We have a 45-day publication notice that we have to redo.
How many members for a quorum on that board?
They had to have 5.
5?
They had to have 5 for that?
Mhm.
And so you,
So once we did the research, yes, they did not have quorum.
because I
So
was-
it got stopped,
Okay.
yes. But thank you for asking.
Well, I'm not asking for myself.
Right.
I am, but somebody else has brought it to my
Right.
attention. So they were wondering why it hasn't, we haven't seen it since the agenda said it was to come to us on
Mhm.
August 10th.
Yeah,
So,
thank
okay.
you.
All right. Next item is consider a motion to adjourn the August 24th, 2020 City Commission meeting.
So moved.
Commissioner Ryan, I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and second to consider the motion to adjourn the August 24th, 2020 City Commission meeting. Roll call vote. Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Osterman, yes. Commissioner Ride,
Yes.
Commissioner Marshall.
Yes.
So adjourned.